Okay, let's dive into this. I want you to picture a scenario because I bet it's going to sound incredibly relatable. It's early morning, the sun is just coming up, and you're sitting all alone at a small kitchen table. You reach for your smartphone, open up your banking app, and there it is, a shockingly low bank balance. Your stomach just drops, right? It's this quiet, private panic that literally millions of people experience every single day. Well, today, we're walking through a highly practical, realistic explainer on how everyday Americans can take a journey from that exact moment of intense financial stress all the way to lasting financial freedom. $0. Or, a number so uncomfortably close to zero that it basically feels the exact same. In fact, nearly 80% of Americans are trapped in this exact paycheck-to-paycheck cycle. And we really need to pause here and validate how heavy this number feels. Living paycheck to paycheck is just an exhausting cycle. You sit there with ordinary household bills piled up on the table, maybe a calculator in hand, and the math just doesn't seem to work out. It's a completely valid anxiety. And listen, if you're feeling the weight of those bills right now, you are absolutely not alone. This is exactly where our journey starts today, but I promise you, it is absolutely not where it ends. So that brings us to a really crucial question. Where is all the money actually going? Because to change our trajectory, we have to pivot from feeling overwhelmed to actually taking action. And here is the secret. It's rarely the massive, obvious purchases that drain our accounts to zero. No, it's the small, invisible expenses. It's the quick tap of a debit card in the supermarket checkout line. It's grabbing a few extra things at the gas station. These tiny, everyday transactions slowly and silently drain our accounts over the course of a month until, suddenly, there's nothing left. So the crucial point is, we must enter phase one, the awakening. It's time to face your finances. This right here is the very first step of our hero's journey. It's about literally and figuratively clearing off that kitchen table, pushing aside the clutter, opening your laptop, and setting up an immediate triage process. Step 1, you track your spending carefully. Write it all down, see exactly where it's going. Step 2, you categorize your expenses into essential household bills versus discretionary purchases. And step 3, you cut the daily waste. And hey, this isn't about punishing yourself, it's actually a massive mindset shift. It's realizing that skipping the expensive coffee shop to make coffee in your own favorite mug at home isn't some huge sacrifice. It's literally the very first building block of your future wealth. Let's see how this builds into phase 2, building the defense. You see, you absolutely cannot build serious wealth if a single flat tire is going to bankrupt you. That's why the emergency fund is really about buying peace of mind. By setting up an automated transfer on your phone, just moving a little bit of money from your checking into a generic savings account every single payday, you are fundamentally changing your future. Because when your car engine suddenly starts smoking, it's no longer a disastrous event that forces you into high-interest debt. Thanks to this fund, it simply becomes a calm, manageable inconvenience. You just pay the mechanic with your savings, and your life keeps moving forward. Now, this strategy turns the overwhelming mountain of bad debt into a highly organized, mathematical hit list. With our defense firmly in place, we gather those statements and systematically destroy them row by row. Just look at the logic here. You pay the minimums on everything to stay current, right? But you focus all your extra firepower on one specific target, like credit card A. You do this month after month. And let me tell you, the quiet relief you're going to feel when you submit that final payment, cross it off your notebook, and snap your laptop shut, it is life-changing. With the defense built and the bad debt cleared away, welcome to phase 3, the offense. It's time to increase your income. So you've completely maximized what you can do with your current paycheck by budgeting. Now we have to bring more money through the front door. And let's be totally honest here. Increasing your income requires some pretty unglamorous, highly realistic work. It means sitting at a dimly lit desk in the evenings to study professional courses. It means practicing and refining new digital skills on your laptop, making mistakes, and then trying again. Then you take those new skills straight to your office, collaborate with your coworkers, and calmly present your improvements to management. It takes time and serious effort, but putting in those quiet hours is exactly what eventually leads to positive career news and a substantially higher paycheck. But here is where we hit a massive crossroads. What happens when you finally get that raise? You're feeling super confident, the direct deposit hits your account, and the number is noticeably bigger. Well, this question introduces the single most dangerous hurdle in your entire financial journey: the overwhelming temptation of new, shiny things. And this brilliantly illustrates the two paths you can take. Side A is the trap, which is often called lifestyle inflation. You get a raise, you go straight to a luxury dealership, and you immediately chain yourself to a brand new debt anchor by financing an expensive vehicle. Sure, you're making more money, but you've locked yourself right back into debt. No way. Now look at side B, the wealth hack. You get the raise, but you maintain your current comfortable lifestyle. You walk right away from that luxury dealership, happily get back into your reliable older sedan, and you take that extra income and funnel it directly into investments. Avoiding that trap allows us to officially graduate to our final phase today. Phase 4, the long game. Consistent investing. This is the beautiful transition where short-term survival evolves into real, long-term financial freedom. This is where your money finally starts working for you. We really need to demystify investing here because it is absolutely not about getting rich quick. Consistent investing simply means making small, recurring contributions to an investment platform over a long period of time, completely ignoring the daily market excitement. Think of it visually, kind of like dropping coins into a glass jar, one by one. It is a slow, steady, and entirely unemotional process. You are not day trading, you are systematically building real wealth over time with just a few taps on your screen. Now, to make sure we have completely realistic expectations, I want to walk you through this multi-year timeline. Please understand this is a marathon of discipline, not an overnight miracle. Year 1, that's just triage and budgeting. Year 2 is all about establishing the emergency fund and putting in the hours upskilling. Year 3 is purely dedicated to destroying that bad debt. But by year 5, you are coasting on your investments. Yes, it takes years of patience, but remember, the time is going to pass anyway. So, what does this all mean? Why does all this actually matter? Because true wealth isn't the flashy cars you see on the street. It's the financial confidence you feel inside. The ultimate emotional payoff of this entire journey is walking through life completely unfazed. When an unexpected household bill arrives in the mail, you don't panic. You just open your savings account and handle it. It is the profound, quiet peace of being completely free from financial anxiety. And this directly echoes a brilliant quote from Morgan Housel. Wealth is what you don't see. You know, the most financially secure people in America often live the most ordinary-looking lives. They're out there driving reliable older cars, living in modest homes, and walking right past the super expensive items in the mall. Their wealth isn't on display for everyone to look at. It's quietly compounding in the background. It perfectly matches the journey of the everyday American we've been analyzing today. We've covered an absolutely incredible transformation today in this explainer, going from that kitchen table covered in stressful bills to the quiet confidence of true financial independence. So, I'm going to leave you with this final challenge. What is the one small step you will take today to start your journey from zero? You don't have to fix everything in a single afternoon. Just track one expense today, set up one tiny automatic transfer, take that very first step, and empower yourself to change your trajectory. Because if you don't decide what your money does today, someone else will gladly decide for you tomorrow. Thanks so much for joining me for this explainer, and I'll catch you on the next one.